racing in the top 5, including the current course record holder, Jevy Stone, who set that record last year. That was a time of 19:21. So I think that record, just given the quality of the competition today, could be one that gets challenged. So we'll be watching that one as it comes up the course. So 2 singles races. Second one's a race within a race. It's a combined 30 and 40. So we'll be giving you the winners on both of those, and then we'll transition over into the 40 plus doubles. And let me go back and look at those results for the 30 plus. Yep. So we've got Tom Graves in first place in the 40 plus, followed by Cody Lowry, followed by Jamie Coven. And then in the 30 plus, Brendan McEwen, make sure I get the names right. Yep, Brendan McEwen, followed by Brian Weddick, followed by Middlebury's Richard Connell, were the top 3 in the 30 plus. And what just came by?
Oh, I didn't see it, sorry.
And we're a little bit negligent in calling the races. We've had the first of the club singles go by, Mary Coletta from San Diego, followed in order by Megan Northey from Lake Washington, Seattle.
In order, that was probably one.
Yeah, called it. Yep. So San Diego leading Lake Washington, and I'll get you some times on those. Through Weld, the San Diego crew was in second place by 2 seconds. So this last 800 will matter. Here's bound number 3, Claire Botterill, also from San Diego. And she was running in 7th place through Weld. Bound number 4 is Minnesota Boat Club's Madison Koch from St. Paul.
And then we have a slight shuffle in order coming down the course. We have bound number 6 leading this pack coming around the corner. Grace Libben from Washington, D.C. TBC Rowing, that's in the yellow uni. And then in the dark uni with the white T-shirt underneath, that's bound number 9 leading this pack. Saratoga's Morgan Hummel. And right on the Cambridge buoy line here, closest to CBC, is bound number 6.
Yep. That is
Grace Libben.
Grace Libben from TBC, Washington, D.C. Go, Grace.
And then bound number 5 is right behind her, Middlebury alumni Erica Sloan.
And then from Riverside Boat Club, having a good row is Jenny Sorley on the inside, followed by bound number 7, Megan Schultz, Vegas.
I don't think I've ever seen a Las Vegas crew here before. That's Megan Schultz.
Well, the water here is different than it is there.
Yes.
So.
More of it. That's what I've been trying to make sure I have them identified.
So we hope we're doing a good job of synchronizing the call with the video feed. We're seeing them before you see them, so we'll be calling them as we think they're coming on to the video feed.
Coming up now is bound number 11. Jane Liu from CRI. That's another local crew. CRI and Riverside are both very easily identifiable Boston crews. You could even say they're iconic just from how their total image is. It's just that crimson hull, crimson oars, crimson uni.
Yep. CRI, all red. And now in order, we've got bound numbers 13 and 14. Adrian Turner, unaffiliated from Colorado, and Onyeka Ogoagaha, I'm sorry about that, from Nashville Rowing, Nashville, Tennessee. Go Nashville.
Followed by bow number 17, having a great race, Kate Maestrenko from Seattle Scullers. And then in the high vis uni, bow number 16, Charlotte Kopp, unaffiliated. And in the dark hull, dark uni with the rainbow blades, bow number 15, Ciara O'Sullivan.
All right. Yep. And with a few rowers across the finish line, bow number 1 was in. Went from second place at Weld to first place at CBC and has posted a time of 20:07. But remember, it was only a 2-second difference between the second place crew, which was the first place crew at Weld. So we might have some more action here in the next few minutes.
Crossing under the bridge right now is Charlotte Foreman of Vesper. We can hear the cheers coming from the bridge for her, so we know there's some Vesper teammates there or friends and family.
Yep, and here we got bow number 12. Is that right? Yep. Willow Arts from Ann Arbor, followed by bow number 19 coming up nicely. Kaylani Doring from Fort Collins, Colorado, and CSU. And then bow number 18, Shara Stevenson from Delta D's in Delta, California.
And then we have a little bit of a gap here till the next couple groups of hulls.
Yeah, and waiting to see what happens with bow number 20, Foreman from Vesper. That was our race leader at both Weld and CBC, so it's really nip and tuck between bow 20 and bow 1.
And crossing in front of the green buoy by CBC now is bow number 23. Coming from the Thames, City of Oxford, Caitlin Armstrong.
Okay, I got it. Okay, coming on to the screen right now, bow number 22. Louise Kuster from TRC, Texas Rowing Center in Austin.
And she's being chased by Lauren Miller, bow number 27, Arian of Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, Texas is one of the places that has it going on right now. There's quite a large facility down there, and there's quite a bit of not just community rowing, but also, University of Texas is there. They're one of the top-ranked college teams, and then there's a elite training center down there, Texas Rowing Center, that's currently home of a half a dozen of the top small boat athletes for the U.S.
Yeah, I've been down to that Texas Rowing Center in Austin as well, and it is one of the most pristine race courses and training centers I've ever been to. It is phenomenal. Highly recommend it.
Particularly nice in the winter in the Northeast. Okay, we've got bow number 25, Alyssa Treblecock from rowing unaffiliated out of Lakewood, Ohio. And then in the yellow hull.
That's one of the next events.
Wow, there's Jevy. Woo! Look at that. We've gapped the events. Go Jevy.
She is flying.
Wow, yeah, wow.
She does currently hold the master singles course record.
Wow.
So looks like she might be going for number 2 here.
Wow, there's an after-action report. There's going to be a bit more of a gap between those events next year.
Yeah, assuming Jenny's still in it next year. But I do believe that was she was overtaking Natalia Kastenberg from Vesper.
I can imagine what's going through Jevy's mind right now. She's like, I can't believe I caught the race, and then then her adrenaline gets going. She's jacked.
When you start overtaking the boats in the next event.
That you don't get to do that very much with bow number 1. That's a fun thing to have happen.
And approaching the bridge right now, Penn AC's Shannon Kaplan.
Yep, Shannon quite good in her own right. Go Shannon.
And then Riverside's Lauren Ayers. Yes, so that is very unusual at the head of the Charles to see someone enter into the next event. So at the starting line, at the other end of the river, yeah, they usually give, what would you say, 5 minutes?
Well, let's see. So it was 8:16 to 8:24. So there was an 8-minute gap.
So theoretically, if you have to start going efficiently, there should be
28 athletes. So that they probably had a 3 minute gap between the races.
Yeah. So best case scenario, that's 4 minutes.
That's a little tight. Yeah.
The starters next year might want to gap that out a little bit to 4 or 5 minutes more.
Yeah. But if I'm sure if Jevy gets a big medal, and it's looking pretty good right now, I'm sure that's a war story for her.
And just for those of you at home who might not know who Jevy Stone is, she did set the course record last year. She won in the champ single. She's also an Olympian from 2012, 16, and 20. Rode at Windsor, Princeton, and in her free time, she's a doctor at Beth Israel Deaconess.
Yeah, so let me go back and give you the results on that. Oh, sorry, we got bow number.
We have Union Boat Club's bow number 4, Karen Davies.
Karen Davies, yep. Go Karen.
Another phenomenal rower.
So in the club singles, bow number 20, Vesper, did wind up. Charlotte Foreman did wind up winning by 6 seconds over San Diego's Mary Collada, and in third place was Megan Northey. Now back over to the 30 and the 40 plus.
5, 6, and 21 from the last one.
Okay, and here we've got bow 5.
So we have Riverside's
Ilana Zief.
And then in the Whitehall, the yellow shirt, that is bow number 21, Michelle Sosa from the previous event. She's unaffiliated, South Dakota native, former Michigan State rower. And then on the Boston side, in the Navy Hull yellow uni, that's bow number 6, Independence Rowing Club from Nashua, New Hampshire, Aaron Lallemond.
Yeah, so one thing you might notice is that the bow numbers for different events have different colors. And what we're watching right now is an example of why the bow numbers for different events have different colors.
So in front of us right now in the high visibility hat, bow number 7, Emily Rocket. That's a great racing name. From Cascadilla, that's in Ithaca, New York. And then in the red uni, that's Heather Moon Vogels coming from Vienna. She rode at UVM for 4 years before moving to Boston.
Okay, so going through CBC, Jevy had a 26-second gap on second place. That was Lauren Ayers. And then and right behind Lauren was Shannon Kaplan. So about a 20-second lead for Jevy going through CBC. Course record was her time last year of 19:22. We'll see how that shakes out. It's about 3 minutes from Eliot to the finish. So I think we could be looking at a course record for Jevy. We'll see.
Under the bridge right now, Union Boat Club's Catherine Infantino, and right approaching the bridge right now, bow number 10, Elizabeth McCann from Virginia alumni. 3 minutes from here to the finish line sounds like a pretty good estimate.
I'll tell you, my adrenaline is still jacked seeing those races overlap. That's like, you don't get to do that very often.
No, she must be feeling awesome coming out of the powerhouse stretch, and
assuming everybody at Belmont Hill yielded to her.
Yes.
Because that's the problem when you start getting into those cruises, the speed differential between first place and last place in the prior event. I mean, I've been at races where I was moving 30% faster than the crew I was passing, and it can become a problem if they don't know how to yield.
Yes, and sometimes with these club events, you do have less experienced rowers or rowers who don't know the course well, and that can be a problem when you're approaching this turn to the right-hand side of us.
And here's bow number 11 from Potomac, Samantha Houston, and Jevy, 19:10. So she just shaved 11 seconds off of her course record from last year. Pretty good for an ER doctor.
Yes, again, that's what she does.
She was coming off the Olympics last year, so she had a little bit of momentum, But like she's been, and she just got married too.
We have bow number 13 and 12 in front of us right now. So 13 is leading. That is Vesper Rowing's Melissa Hilton, who has overtaken Atomic Rowing's Alyssa Nielsen. Yeah, shaving 11 minutes off your course record, or 11 seconds off your course record is
when you're working full time and newlywed. That's pretty good.
And you did say she just came off Olympic training, and for just a reminder for those who don't know the Charles that well, this is a totally different distance than the Olympics. This is not the same kind of racing. But as Greg was saying, the course here, for those not familiar with the geography of the Charles, you have a large turn to our left here. And then you have a snaking serpentine turn to the opposite direction on the other side of the bridge. So that can create a very challenging route to navigate when you have less experienced crews or crews who don't know the course very well.
Yeah, okay. So now we've got half a dozen boats coming through. Bow number 20 in front of us, right?
Yes, Emily Caffey from Hinsdale Rowing has overtaken bow number 16, Lori Criato from Alexandra.
Yep, so that's about a 40-second swing versus the start. Bow 15? Okay, bow 15 in the blue boat, Sarah Richmond from CRI. Private hull, not that red CRI fleet. Bow number 14, Allison Mueller from Carnegie Lake Rowing Association in Princeton, another home of U.S. Rowing's elite training centers.
And then 18 in the red hat, Sarah Baker from Atlanta.
Yep, followed by 19, Tanya Roger from South Niagara up in Welland.
And then 24, who's jumped up, Caitlin Pauls from St. Catharines, Ontario. St. Catharines is another great rowing facility up there. It's a great lake. It's protected. It's a fantastic place to get to row and compete and train.
So one of the things that gets kind of funny in these Masters singles races is people are, do I row the single? Do I row the double? So there are probably some decisions being made today that will affect next year's, like somebody's after that's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this again, or oh, nope, I'm going to go row with my friend.
Oh yeah, so, there is a certain degree of solitude that can be very rewarding or very lonely, depending how your race day goes when you're out in a single.
Yeah, but I mean the one thing about the single is you can fit it better into your life schedule than an 8.
As someone who I never bragged about being finesse rower, I'd be what you'd call an engine room guy. I was never great at the single, so I would definitely opt for
so
8.
Here we go with bow 22, Sue Ann Curtis from TriStar, followed by bow 25, Eleanor Aiello from Olympia, Washington, followed by bow 23, Sarah Forsting from Burnaby Lake, Burnaby, Canada.
And then Chandra McCarthy from Union.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so one thing I also remember rowing on Saturdays, now that I've been booted over to Legends Friday, is practice is coming up the course with all of these 8s coming down the mat, because the big boats come after the doubles. So you're racing the single and you've got these 8s coming by you, and you're watching for the orange buoys, but then you're also watching for those white travel. And sometimes the white buoys and the orange buoys are really close to each other. Okay, here's bow number 26.
26 is Gabby Cutler from
UBC,
Philly.
University Barge Club in Philly.
And then Amber Oakey from Dawn Rowing. Coming down from Ontario. Again, international rowers. Welcome to Boston. Welcome to our Charles River.
But these 8s, when they come by, even if they're going really slow, can bump up the water. So you'll be on big stretches of the course today where it's just glass flat, and then you start getting onto this turn and you're looking for the orange buoys, and all of a sudden the water starts to get a little bit bumpier.
Yeah, you'll see that tomorrow as well when the youth 4s are coming down the course. They run into the same problem with the 8s.
Yeah, well, the youth events. And if you want to hang out on the Eliot Bridge, that's what you live for. I mean, it's NASCAR.
As a former youth coach, there's a lot of anxiety that goes into watching those events.
And here's bow number 32 from Whitemarsh and Conshohocken, Laura Roberts. I think Conshohocken had a much better year last year. They have Philadelphia flooding last year. Their boathouse was literally like to the roof in terms of the flooding.
I had a different number than I do.
Did I? Okay.
Okay. That's Riverside, Libby.
Okay, now we've got bow 27.
That's Union Boat Club's Marie Sorensen.
Followed by bow 33. Did I see that right? Yep.
Bow number 33.
Nope, there you go. That's
Whitemarsh.
Laura Roberts. Sorry, that's Conshohocken.
Yep. We do have another clump coming up here in front of us now. Bow number 29,
Yep,
followed by
Dion Sturd from Tulsa.
in the magenta boat. Bow number 34, Emily Crowley.
Yep, from Capital Rowing in Washington.
35.
35 is
Union
Alice
Boat
Taggart
Club.
from UBC down at the other end of the river. 39, Emily Regan from Ready, Set, Row.
And then
There's a national team alum.
Siobhan Flynn and Christy Seymour.
31, Siobhan Flynn, yes, from Worcester.
Oh, and we have some Canadian geese crossing the river.
And Christy Seymour from Cooper River. Yeah, so yesterday we're sitting on the start line and we're all in the chute, and I'm looking up at the BU bridge, and there were a couple of swans under the bridge. And it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen at the start of a race?
You don't want to mess with swans. They're big, they're mean, they will take out a single.
Okay, and here's bow number 42.
That's Mika Kimmins
Yep,
coming from Riverside.
Riverside.
And another big gap here. I believe we have another half a dozen or so crews in this event, but you never know what happens at the other end. Sometimes people scratch, sometimes people get sick.
Sometimes you have an Olympian starting last.
Yeah, sometimes the Olympian gets to the start line late.
So
and
right now in the 30 to 39, we've got Jevi with that course record, 1910.8 to be specific, followed by Lauren Ayres. About 30 seconds back in 1940, so pretty healthy gap. And then third was Ridley Grad's Caitlin Pauls. And then in the 40-plus, Shannon Kaplan goes home with a big medal in 1942. Let's check and see what the course record there was. Yeah, okay. So the 40-plus was a course record as well. So that used to be Margarita Jacobson's in 2018, and now Shannon Kaplan gets to go home. She knocked 30 seconds off the course record, so congrats to Shannon. Okay, here's bow number 41 coming through.
That's Margot Seiler
Schmidt. Yep, from Plymouth, Virginia.
Followed by Catherine O'Brien coming up from Dallas.
Wow, that was a fast race.
Oh, that
two course records in like the winner knocks 11 seconds off of her own course record, and the 40 plus knocks 30 seconds off of a course record that goes back to 2003,
which is astronomical. I think we're going to see a lot of fast numbers today. Approaching the bridge right now, Kelly Dent, and then in the yellow boat in front of us, we have
Elizabeth Avery, Cambridge Boat Club. Go Elizabeth!
And bow number 38 in the yellow shirt is...
That's Mignon Gousson from Rhineland. Go Mignon. She's been training out of Cambridge this week.
Thank you for that name. 44. And St. Catherine's Rowing, Marlo Stoutenberg coming up the course now. I think that is everyone from this event, but we will keep our eyes peeled for any more competitors. So as I was saying, I do expect to see several more records being broken today just from the conditions alone. This is as close to ideal rowing weather and rowing conditions as you could get on the Charles.
Yeah, it's like, well, we've got 3 so far today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And water's flat.
Yeah.
Minimal wind. It's cool. It's sunny.
Yeah. Now, for the Eliot Bridge, I mean, everybody up there I know are fans of Masters Rowing. Come back tomorrow for the...